جی السلام علیکم. آج کی جو جرنی ہے ہماری بیسیکلی آج ہم ایک ٹاک پہ جا رہے ہیں جو کہ لنڈن میں جا رہے ہیں اور بیسیکلی ٹاپک ہے فرام کریڈل ٹو دا گریو. اور یہ ٹاپک ریلیٹڈ ہے کہ اسلامک ٹاک کے اوپر جس کے اندر کافی زیادہ پرومیننٹ مسلم کمیونٹی کے کچھ علماء اور اسکالرز اویلیبل ہوں گے اور یہ ٹاک ہم سننے جا رہے ہیں آج. یہاں سے آج چھٹی ہے لیکن میں آج اسپیشلی اس کام کے لیے آفس میں آیا تھا کہ یہاں سے ہم نکلیں گے. تو ابھی میں ویٹ کر رہا ہوں اپنے باس کا, اس کے ساتھ ہم نکلیں گے انشاءاللہ تعالی. جو ہے نا ٹاک کا ٹاپک وہ ہے فرام کریڈل ٹو گریو دنیا ڈیکوڈڈ. ساؤنڈس ڈیپ رائٹ. بیسیکلی اس کے اندر کافی زیادہ ڈفرینٹ طرح کی ٹاکس وغیرہ ہوں گی. اس میں 3 مختلف جو ہیں وہ علماء ہیں, عبد الرحمن الخطاب, اسامہ الشروفہ, اور تیسرا ان کا نام میرے ذہن میں نہیں ہے تو وہ میں مینشن کر دوں گا. تو آج اس جرنی کی طرف ہم جا رہے ہیں تو دیکھتے ہیں کیا ہوتا ہے. ابھی میں فی الوقت اپنے آفس میں اور یہاں سے ہم انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ نکل رہے ہیں تو دیکھتے ہیں کیا ہوتا ہے. اور دیکھیں اس ٹاک سے ہمارا ایمان تازہ ہو جائے یا کیسے ریچارج ہوتے ہیں یا ہمارا سافٹ ویئر اپڈیٹ ہو جائے. جیسے جیسے آج کل آپ کو پتہ ہی ہے دنیا کی چیزوں میں ہم الجھ گئے ہیں, تو اس سے ہو سکتا ہے کہ ہماری یہ ٹاک ہمیں دوبارہ سے ایک ریمائنڈر دے کہ یہ جو لائف ہے یہ ایٹرنل نہیں ہے اور آگے کیا ہو سکتا ہے. تو انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ جڑے رہے, دیکھتے ہیں اس میں کیا ہوتا ہے. اس کے بارے میں آپ کو بتاؤں گا ٹاک میں کیا چیزیں ہوں گی انشاءاللہ, اور ہماری جرنی جیسے سٹارٹ ہوتی ہے انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. So this is my attire for today's talk where I'm gonna go along with my boss. I'm not sure what he's gonna wear but یہ آج کپڑے میں نے پہنے ہیں. اور اس میں مزید اس ٹاک کے اندر کیا ہوگا, اس میں کس بارے میں بات ہوگی, تو اس کو ہم اب جا کے ہمیں پتہ چلے گا کہ کیسے اس کے اندر دنیا اور آخرت سے ریلیٹڈ کیا کیا باتیں ہوتی ہیں. سوری ٹاک انگلش میں ہے لیکن اس کے بعد میں انشاءاللہ کوشش کروں گا کہ جو مجھے چیزیں پتہ چلی ہیں میں آپ تک بھی پہنچانے کی کوشش کروں. تو جڑے رہیے گا انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ اور ولاگ دیکھیں انشاءاللہ. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. بارش ہے بہت زیادہ آج باہر, ٹھیک ہے ہم جا رہے ہیں. یہ سواری ہے, اس پہ جانا ہے اور بھی سڑک کراس کرنے لگوں میں. بارش اور سردی بہت زیادہ, اخیری سردی پڑ رہی ہے. اوئے میری ٹانگیں ساری پھنس گئی ہیں. اوئے کیسے فرام ہیئر.
یہاں پہ ہم انتظار کر رہے تھے کہ کب نکلنا ہے, تو بس یہ میپس وغیرہ لگا رہے ہیں اور نکلنے لگے انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ.
We're just going there to listen to this beautiful talk and we are just 1 hour and 33 minutes away now. So during this journey I'm just going to ask a series of questions, just basic general questions, life related, basically how things work in the UK. I'm just gonna ask some questions. You will hear the next voice that you guys going to hear is of Abdul. What do people think about life in the UK? That's it. Like, what's their psychology? You've been living in the UK for a long time now. You're born and bred here, and you know how people think like in the UK. Like mostly most people I'm asking. So, what do you want to say about this?
I think generally speaking, people are happy regardless of what you see out there in the media and the public domain. Generally speaking, people are relatively happy. They're cracking on with their lives. Majority of people have jobs. Yeah, you have to work hard, and there is a bit of a cost of living crisis. I'm not denying that. But if you look at the overall sort of condition and happiness of Muslim people in general in the UK, then I think there's a level of contentment. If you're willing to work hard, you will get a job. There are opportunities out there. there's many people that get into really good top jobs. Again, if you've got the right qualifications and you go and apply for things in the proper way, then it's not like other countries where there is corruption and a very corrupt bureaucracy. So I think, and there's so many examples of that. I know so many successful MPs, ministers, businessmen, people working with the government, because it's equal opportunity in the UK. So I think despite what we hear and what we see on the news, generally speaking, people are relatively happy.
थैंक यू। अभी हमें ये भी नहीं पता कि हम अब पहुंच पाएंगे कि नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी जो है हम काफ़ी लेट हैं और रास्ते में ट्रैफिक थी काफ़ी ज़्यादा, तो उम्मीद करता हूँ शायद पहुंच जाए। अभी टाइम शो कर रहा है हमें 1 घंटा और 4 मिनट, और टाइम था एंट्रेंस का 5:30 बजे जब टिकट्स बाय की हैं। तो पहले हमने सोचा कि शायद हम ऑन द स्पॉट वहाँ पे जाके ऑन अराइवल ले लें टिकट्स, लेकिन अभी कुछ समझ नहीं आ रही कि क्या हो। चलें, खैर बहरहाल देखते हैं, आप पहुँचते तो पता चलेगा। लेकिन चलें इसी सब के दौरान ये कुछ बात कर लेते हैं। अभी घंटा पड़ा हुआ है, ठीक है, निकले तो काफ़ी टाइम हो गया। तो मैं कुछ क्वेश्चंस करता हूँ, ये मैं ज़रा थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश में क्वेश्चंस करूँगा क्योंकि अब्दुल इज़ बेसिकली कंफर्टेबल स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश, so I'm just going to switch and talk in English now. What about the people who have like jobs, or they're searching for jobs? What do you want to tell them?
Are they born and bred in the UK?
No, like outsiders, overseas, Pakistani, Indian people, from different international students, people who are just arrived UK or just completed their studies. They're on their post-study work visa or whatever field they're in. What do you want to suggest them as a UK born
my
and bred?
advice, my advice to them would be, make sure that you refine your communication skills. Communication in a UK work environment is very, very important.
Yes. Soft skills.
The soft skills are critical. The pleasantries. A lot of people I've realized overseas, they don't quite understand how British pleasantries works. And by pleasantries, I mean the goodbye, the thank you, the hello, how are you, how is the weather, talking about the weather, how was your weekend,
Yes.
all of that stuff. I feel like people from Pakistan and India, they're incredibly talented.
Yes.
They've got a lot of skills to bring to the table, but sometimes they're operating like computers. Yeah.
That's true.
And even sometimes I'll have a go at you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're just so binary. Stop being so robotic.
Yes.
Because in the UK, we like that little shushka
Yes.
in the conversation,
Yes.
How are you?
Hello.
Is everything
how are
okay?
you? You're right. You're right, mate.
Probably not like that because you sound like Donald Duck.
Anyways, I'll just go on to the next question now.
Go on.
So, do you think like corporate sector, like multinational companies in the UK and world, for example, do you actually need to be really smart to work there, or sometimes smart people, they don't have to work in these companies and they can actually start their own businesses? Like taking your own example as a person, how do you think? Do you actually think that KPMG would be or maybe Microsoft would be a good company for you to work in, or having your own business is good instead of that?
I think, don't get me wrong, these companies are amazing.
Yes.
So I think there's KPMG and JP Morgan and everything, but you are working in a very robotic style.
Yes.
And generally speaking, if you're successful in those companies, I mean, there's entrance exams and it's quite competitive to get in. So there will be a level of I wouldn't say intelligence, definitely a level of common sense that you would need to work in these companies. But what you'll find is that you will be working in a very robotic fashion, working within a very set framework. And it's very, very good for people who want to work within the boundaries of that, framework. If you are a bit of a blue sky thinker, bit of a troublemaker, bit of a risk taker, then I think business is good. Obviously, I think my philosophy on this is that
Yes.
no business is done by design. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the ability,
Yes.
and He then puts barakah in it. But
Yes.
I would also say there is a lot of barakah in business
Yes. There is. Yes.
that you don't necessarily know how it's going to grow. You don't necessarily know where your clients are going to come from.
Yes.
You probably don't even know when or how you're going to break even or when it's going to start getting profitable.
Yes.
But as long as you are trying your level hardest to do things in the halal way, then there is that barakah.
As a British born Pakistani, you've been living in the UK from last 30 years and अभी आपको पाकिस्तान आप नहीं गए तो लेकिन आपको पाकिस्तान के बारे में काफ़ी चीज़ें पता हैं और पाकिस्तान के अलावा भी दुनिया में आप काफ़ी जगह पे गए हैं तो आप यूके की लाइफ के बारे में आपने पहले बता दिया एंड यू हैव टोल्ड मी अबाउट हाउ थिंग्स आर वर्किंग इन द यूके हाउ पीपल कैन गेट अपॉर्चुनिटीज हाउ if they work hard they will get a job. What's your perspective of yourself? You living in the UK, would you want to see yourself living in the UK for next 10 years or do you want to move abroad? What's your goal?
Look, my goal is that I still think that the UK is a good country to live in because of the fact that there's equal opportunity. There is, if you're working hard, as long as you're working hard, you will get a job, you will get an opportunity. Generally speaking, you can climb up the corporate ladder as well in this country. So there's not that much bureaucracy, particularly compared to other countries like Pakistan, India, even the Middle East, so
तो मतलब इसका मतलब है आप you would want to stay here और आप नहीं जाना चाहोगे.
Don't get me wrong, I think there are issues with the country, the NHS is under a lot of pressure, which means like particularly primary healthcare, if we want to see a GP or if we have a surgery that we need to attend, even like that is proving to be under a lot of pressure. Finding job opportunities has become a bit more difficult as well.
Even for the British nationals?
Even for the British nationals, yes. Finding affordable housing, that is another area that requires seriously like innovating.
Housing, by housing, what do you mean? Like, just put some reflection on it, like renting or private renting, or you're talking about the public sector?
Well, the public sector is where majority of the housing is. We don't have a lot of social housing anymore in the UK. We used to. In the 70s and 80s, we used to have a lot of social housing. Social housing, I don't know what's the best way to explain social housing to a Pakistani audience. Is there social housing in Pakistan?
No, there is no social housing in Pakistan. There is
So for the viewers, let's explain to them what social housing, what we Kenley Group does.
Well, we will come on to this point in the next video, right?
But we have what we call iman matloob mawjood. There's an iman matloob. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, aminu. O you who believe, believe. Meaning you have a certain level of iman, but Allah requires a different level of iman. The asas, the foundation of the people of batil is dunya. The foundation of the people of akhirah is, of haq is, akhirah. You know, a child, just as an example of this dunya, I was thinking of this the other day, subhanAllah. Like if you have a baby, like an infant, and you put a toy in front of him that's very flashy, and you start to wave it, what does the baby do? Looks at the toy. Now you want the baby's attention, you're like, he's looking at the toy, and you're like, Habibi. But he's still like, but he keeps looking back. This is what's happening to the ummah today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is like right here, but we're so distracted.
उसामा शरफा के बयान में बहुत कुछ सीखा। सबसे बड़ी बात यह कि हमेशा अल्लाह के दीन में मुसब्बत और मुस्तकिल रहना चाहिए। जिंदगी के हर मोड़ पर ईमान को